Hello everyone, I am Pushpita De. Today we have with us Ms. Divya Gokulnath. She is the co-founder and the director of the Byju. On the eve of Women's Day, she talks about how the policy can help women develop more interest towards entrepreneurship and how women entrepreneurs can drive the Indian economy and what role the education can play in doing the same. Thank you so much for joining us. So we know that Women's Day is around the corner, and you being one of the most successful women entrepreneurs in India, on top of that you are involved in a section like education. So how do you think education can contribute more in a way to build more women entrepreneurs in India?
First, I don't want a Women's Day, right? I want to aspire to a future where we don't have to do a special on Women's Day. Every day should be Women's Day and Man's Day. I stand for equality. So the question you asked me is, how does education and women entrepreneurship come together, right? See, education, if you ask me, it's the most important passport to freedom for a woman in this country. Today you can be anyone you want to be, provided you have education to back you, and especially if you're a girl. And I've seen that. What has really helped me is that I was fortunate enough to be raised by my parents, not as a boy or as a girl, but as a child. So it starts at home, and education is something that doesn't just happen at school. It also happens at home, from parents, from uncles, from aunts, from cousins, from people around you. So that mindset shift has to happen, and the importance of education has to be given. If you look at the latest statistics, when you educate a woman, you educate not just herself, you educate her generation. Also, if you make her financially literate, you're empowering her and you're empowering the next generation. Right? So this is what education can do.
So there was a survey which showed that even women are working women, or they are getting involved in jobs. Since you spoke about financial literacy, there is a growing gap between men and women in terms of financial literacy. Even women are working, they are not educated enough in terms of their financial goals and financial planning. Why do you think that is happening when in a country like India, there are so many women entrepreneurs are coming up these days? So what is leading the just growing gap?
I would say that it's actually moving towards closing that gap. Much more can be done. The reason is because nobody understands how important it is to have a woman have equal control of finances in the house. Because you give money to a woman, she will use it for her family for sure. Right? She always puts them first. Now, that being said, if you look at how the job economy also is moving ahead, you will see that there is a massive shift because of all this work from home which is happening. Right? We as women have been asking for flexibility forever. But now, post the pandemic, since the entire world wants it, we get it. We women have been moonlighting forever. We've been running, say, small stitching shops, tuition shops at home. But now, it's actually a respectable profession. And why is this happening? Because of digitalization. Because everybody, anyone with a telephone can become an entrepreneur, right? Anyone with a smartphone, anyone with a laptop, they can become an entrepreneur.
And also, just the last question. So you spoke about that women education and all. So what do you think are the policy areas that could be addressed or that could be improved? Because there are a lot of initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, a lot of scholarships happening for women. Still we see there has been a lot of not that much of participation happening from the women, right? We see a lot of girls drop out happening from the schools. So in terms of policy areas, what do you expect to happen? And also my second part of the question is, since you are a successful women entrepreneur, what are the challenges as a woman entrepreneur you have faced which you think which doesn't exist anymore, or which you think can be overcome in due course of time for new entrepreneurs? Because because it says that India is now becoming a country for entrepreneurs. A lot of people are aspiring to be entrepreneurs.
So firstly, you spoke about girl education, and you spoke about the dropout rates.
Yes, the policy that
could me about policies, and you asked me about how to increase participation. So here's one thing I believe in, right? There are a lot of rooms that I walk in where maybe women are only 20% of the room. They form only 20% of the table. But let me assure you that we are at least 60% of the voice. Because if we are present at a table, we make sure that we are heard. We make sure that we give the point that we want to put across. We don't bench, right? We are there because we know we are there with a mission, with a reason, with a cause to create an impact. Now, the second thing you spoke about, which is very important, is the dropout rates. See, the dropout rates for girls happens also because of safety and security, right? That's where technology can help. And to give you an example, we have seen that with our Education for All initiative, which is our social initiative, which today is reaching 55 lakh students from the deepest parts of the country. More than half of them are actually girls, and they're learning from home. This is the safest way for them to learn. They don't need to leave their houses at all. They can choose or not to go out, but even mothers and fathers feel comfortable giving this to them because they know the child is learning, but also learning safely. So technology maybe can help in bridging that divide which is caused. And I would say that the digital empowerment or the digital tools can actually shatter the boundaries of the physical world. So maybe that can make it possible.
Divya ma'am really gave us some insightful views on how education can help women drive more towards their dream and help achieve success.